everyone. My voice. Hey everyone, welcome back to another study live session. Hope you all had an amazing break after a very long study live session. In this study live session also I won't keep quiet because it's already night time. If I keep quiet, either you will sleep or I will sleep. So I'll discuss the MCQs. Just give me a while. I'll just get done with the things. I'll check with the correct answers and take ones. And with that, I'll discuss zoology MCQs. After that, once we're done, then let's go to botany. One MCQs. Let's get started quickly. Cake is straight tube extending up to the mid-thoracic cavity, which divides at the fifth thoracic vertebra into right and left primary bronchi. That is the correct answer. Which of the following are protected by incomplete cartilaginous rings? Incomplete cartilaginous rings. We'll study that. So that's trachea, primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, and initial bronchioles. These are covered by and protected by initial cartilaginous rings. So option 1. Then, what is the actual site for the diffusion of O2 and CO2 between blood and atmospheric air? It is exchange part of respiratory system or respiratory part of respiratory system. Both mean the same. So the option is both 1 and 3. In cockroaches, diffusions of oxygen occurs. This is quite an interesting one because anyone will get confused between trachea and tracheoles. So the option is tracheoles. So in cockroach, the diffusion occurs at the part of tracheoles. Pressure within the lung is called intrapulmonary pressure. We should know the difference between intra and inter. Intra meaning within, inter meaning between. That's the difference. Then contraction of dash muscles lifts up the ribs and the sternum, causing an increase in the volume of the thoracic chamber in dorsoventral axis. Whenever it's lifted up, increases the volume, meaning the outer part it decreases. That is external intercostal muscles. Inter, as again I told, it's between. Costal is the ribs. So the muscles in between the ribs, they shrink. Shrink in the sense they come together so they can move up. That's the answer for this. Next, contraction of diaphragm increases the volume of thoracic chamber in. This is one logical question. Like, is it antero-posterior axis, dorsoventral axis, ventrolateral axis, or dorsolateral axis? Well, the option is first one. It is anterior-ventral axis, anterior-posterior axis. So the contraction of diaphragm increases the volume of thoracic chamber in. Anterior posterior axis. Anterior meaning forward. Posterior means upper. So it's the anterior posterior axis. So knowing the English terms matters here again. Next, total volume of the air a person can expire after a normal inspiration is called. Any guesses? I'll tell the option. IC, that is inspiratory capacity. EC, expiratory capacity. IRV and ERV, inspiratory, respiratory, is IRV, expiratory residual volume, inspiratory residual volume. Which one is the correct option? It is option C, inspiratory reserve volume. That is, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, inspiratory capacity, expiratory capacity. Like we discussed that time, these are some important terms which they ask MCQs with, and they ask. Again, additional volume of air a person can inspire by forcible inspiration is called. First of all, it's forcible and it's again additional amount of air during inspiration. Whenever it is IRV, that is inspirational or respiratory capacity or reserve capacity, reserve volume, because it's V over here. IRV, inspiratory reserve volume. Also, stay tuned. We have something at the end, some news to tell. So that's stay connected. I get done with the MCQ. So whatever we revised so far is quite helpful also. This is like an diagram. This is given in NCRT. What is like A indicates here, B indicates, C and D. Basically, it's the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the oxygenated blood, deoxygenated blood, atmospheric oxygen, and the alveolar oxygen. All those rates, that diagram picture it is. So here A is 95, that is A is coming over here. AMM of Hg, PO2 they mention in the red, meaning red color blood, that is oxygenated blood has 95 partial pressure of oxygen, then it's 104. C over B is 104 because that's in the lungs, and that alveoli point, that is B, 104. C is 45 and D is 40 again. So C comes for the deoxygenated part of carbon dioxide and D comes for the tissues of carbon dioxide in alveoli. So in alveoli carbon dioxide is 42. Yeah. Here the diagram they give very nicely to confuse. You should see where the A, B, C, D is also. Like the number only they just mentioned it. In tissues, the factors favorable for the dissociation of O2 from oxyhemoglobin are, okay, it's basically low partial pressure of oxygen, high partial pressure of carbon dioxide, high temperature, low pH. So in this factors favorable, the dissociation of O2 from oxyhemoglobin. Neural signal from which the center can reduce the duration of inspiration is pneumotaxic center. I guess we studied this too yesterday. By the given statement we should answer. Heart of both humans as well as amphibians is neurogenic in nature. Statement B, neural signals through the sympathetic nerves can increase the strength of ventricular contraction in humans, both are. Next, assertion. Chemosensitive area is situated adjacent to the rhythm center, which is highly sensitive to CO2 and hydrogen ions. The reason, receptor associated with aortic arc and carotid artery can recognize changes in O2 and H plus concentration and send necessary signals to the rhythm center for remedial action. But for this, A is true and R is false. Why do you ask? Receptor associated with aortic artery and carotid artery can recognize changes. No, why would receptor associated with an arc and artery send changes to heart? It's different. The lining over here itself is different. So R is false, but yeah, A is true. Why we studied this also. Right. Next question. O2 gets bonded to hemoglobin in the lung after being released from H2O and CO2. This is question. First is the assertion that the CO2 trapped as bicarbonate at the tissue level and transported to alveoli is released after CO2. Is the assertion, whereas the reason says O2 gets bonded to hemoglobin in the lung after being released from H2O and CO2. Well, what do you think is the answer? The answer is option 3, that is assertion is true and reason is false. So let us why. That is CO2 trapped as bicarbonate at tissue level and transported to the alveoli is released after CO2 current. That term it splits. Carbon dioxide goes up. Oxygen doesn't get formed into oxyhemoglobin. Right? It doesn't get formed here. Even at times oxygen remains in the lungs and it is not bounded to hemoglobin right after it's been released from water. Okay, this is match the following. Initiation of inspiration, respiratory rhythm center, expiration, inspiration. Then interpulmonary pressure is greater than atmospheric pressure, intrapulmonary pressure, diaphragm and medulla. option is like initiation of inspiration is by diaphragm. The respiratory rhythm center situated at medulla. C. Expiration is intrapulmonary pressure is greater than atmospheric pressure and inspiration is intrapulmonary pressure. Well, yep, that's option 2. Next, most probable cause of heart attack is. So this was something which everyone was thinking. Like, at least I was asking what is the reason for heart attack, and in the inside it is no specific thing given for heart attack, right? So I told, remember there are two different things: atherosclerosis and arteriosclerosis. Here it is. So the most probable cause of heart attack is arteriosclerosis. And what is arteriosclerosis? Is the coagulation in the arteries. Okay, atherosclerosis is CAD only, coronary artery disease. That's different. But this is arteriosclerosis. There are two different terms. Okay, next. The body has the ability to change the all of the above, that is stroke volume, heart rate, and cardiac output. Next, read the following statement and find the incorrect one. Okay, I'll tell directly the incorrect one. The end of P wave marks the end of systole. No, the end of P wave doesn't mark the end of systole. It's basically start of systole. Even it's not start of systole. It's depolarization of arteriole. End of P. After that, it starts the start of systole. Arterial systole, then Curis complex, then ventricular systole. Depolarization of ventricle, then ventricular systole. Then again, T wave starts the end of T wave marks the end of systole. Okay, bundle of His is muscular tissue supplied to the ventricles. This was the straight line dicto that became a question. Only two ventricles, and that is related because it has Purkinje fibers or Purkinje fibers. Next, the vessel that carries blood from the intestine to the liver is called hepatic portal vein. We studied this to hepatic center. Neural signal through ANS, that is autonomous nervous system, does what? Basically, do both. It increases the heart rate beat, it decreases the heart rate, as well as it increases cardiac output also. It increases even the strength in ventricle contraction. Strength in ventricular contraction, it increases the heart rate, increases cardiac output. Autonomous nervous system consists of sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. A portion of the cardiovascular system that transport oxygen depleted blood from the heart to the lung and bring from the heart to the lung and bring oxygenated blood back to the heart is. So what that type of circulation is called? That is pulmonary circulation. Anything related to heart and lung is pulmonary circulation. Okay, then next match the columns with 1 and 2 again. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Carries oxygen, brings, I guess this everyone knows. Okay, superior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood, whereas inferior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from lower parts of the body to right atrium. Pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to lungs, whereas pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood from lungs. Next, assertion heart failure is sometimes called congestive heart failure. Reason: congestion of the lung is one of the main symptoms of heart failure. Well, both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. This was also again the same line. Even heart failure is known as congestion. Congestion meaning the lungs get compressed. Next, assertion. Lymph is a colorless fluid containing specialized lymphocytes which are responsible for the immune response of the body. And the reason is lymph is an important carrier for nutrient, hormone, etc. Yeah, both they are true, but they are not the correct explanation. Like, we don't get any explanation of why is lymph colorless or why is it a specialized fluid which is responsible for immune system. We don't get that. We only get to know that it does this, it does that. So it's correct, both are correct, but they don't make sense. So option 2. Next, blood vessel that supplies oxygenated blood to the cardiac tissue is coronary artery. Like I told, cardiac tissue itself even needs to be oxidized, even it should, the deoxygenated substance should be removed from the cardiac muscle also. So, yep, cardiac tissue. And for that, it's coronary artery. Assertion. Blood coagulates in uninjured blood vessels. Can blood even coagulate in uninjured blood vessels? Reason uninjured blood vessel release an anticoagulant heparin. And why would an uninjured release anything like an anticoagulant? Both A and R are false. Next, what is the following statements which is true regarding the regulation of cardiac activity? You can directly tell the answer, that is the SA node is influenced by both sympathetic as well as parasympathetic nerves. Like we studied, they increase and decrease the heart. Next, which component of the autonomic nervous system is responsible for decreasing the heart rate? Parasympathetic nervous system, sympathetic for regulation. Which of the following is correct about human heart? Direct I'll tell, the volume of both ventricles is greater than the volume of both atria. Very well, we're aware. Why? Because both of them need more pressure. The thing is, they move the blood out of the heart and they work against gravity. All these things. Uricotelic mode of passing out nitrogenous waste is found in reptiles and birds. Okay. Next, efferent arteriole emerging from the glomerulus forms a fine capillary network around the renal tubule called the peritubular capillaries. This is a new concept because the efferent arteriole emerging from the glomerulus forms a fine capillary network around the renal tubule is called peritubular capillaries. Okay, the capillaries has the name and that is peritubular. Simple, it's not, it can't be vasa recta. I'll tell the other options. Correcting that, it can't be. Loop of Henle, no. Vasa recta, not at all. So it is peritubular capillaries. More than peritubular is the capillaries. So it's the peritubular. The projection of renal pelvis are called calyces. Next, which one of the following correctly explains the function of a specific part of a human nephron? Podocytes. Create minute spaces let pores for the filtration of blood into Bowman's capsule. Study podocytes, right? It's like covering of Bowman's capsule. Which one of the following statements is regarded to the excretion by human kidneys correctly? That is, nearly 99% of the glomerular filtrate is reabsorbed by the renal bodies, like this. Next, we should refer the diagram and answer. I'll just tell the answer. A is nephron, B is cortex, C is medulla, D is pelvis, E is ureter. Okay. This is the NCRT diagram. We all can refer that. Choose the false statements. Tubular secretion is not very important step in urine formation. That's a huge false statement. It is very, very important. Next, glomerular filtrate is blood minus blood corpuscles in plasma protein. Yes, read this equation. Ammonia produced by metabolism is converted into A, then B, in ureotenic and released into the blood, which is filtered and executed out by C. Okay. Where filtering comes, that means it's kidney. Okay, urea, liver and kidney. I'll read the sentence. Ammonia produced by metabolism is converted into the urea in the liver, in ureotelic and released into the blood, which is filtered and excreted out by kidney. Inside the incorrect statement, kidney plays significant role in removal of ammonia directly. No, like the previous statement itself is ammonia is converted into urea, so it cannot be removed directly. We are not ammonotelic organisms. I mean, kidney doesn't work with ammonotelic organisms. It's different. Match the following. This is what? Proximal distal convoluted tubule, Henle's loop, counter current mechanism, renal corpuscle. Okay. Important. Proximal. For proximal, it reabsorption of 70 to 80% of electrolytes here. Then the distal convoluted tubule, ionic balance. Yes. Henle's loop. Formation of concentrated urine here. Then the counter current mechanism is for maintenance of concentration gradient in medulla. We talked about the counter current mechanism where vasa recta is involved. That thing. Renal corpuscle, that is filtration of blood. Renal corpuscle is involved in the filtration of it. Comes also, goes also. Which one of the following statements is incorrect? Okay? Inside the kidney, the cortical region extends in between medullary pyramids as renal pelvis. Renal pelvis does not extend anywhere. It just stays before the opening of ureter over there. What actually exists? What actually extends is the renal artery or renal arteries, not the pelvis. Next. Figure shows the urinary system, so yeah, you should select the correct one. Like here, A is adrenal gland located at anterior part of kidney. It secretes catecholamines which stimulate glycogen breakdown. Okay. This is like the option. They don't give us name the labeling parts here. They give label one random part and they tell the function of that. If it's correct, you should go with that. Human urine is usually acidic because hydrogen ions are actively secreted into the filtrate. I guess you are already aware of this too. Next, assertion. Anterior glands perform the excretory function in prawns. Reason, microgenitals are present in crustacean for osmoregulation. What's the difference between prawns and crustacean? They are one and the same. So A is to R. We stressed on the word prawns, right? Yeah. Glomerular filtration is considered as ultrafiltration, is the assertion. Reason, blood is filtered so finely through the filtration membrane that almost all of the constituents of the plasma except the proteins pass into the lumen of Bowman's capsule. So both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of the assertion. Why so? Because glomerular filtration is after all considered ultrafiltration because most of the things are reabsorbable. We studied that also. Next. Nitrogenous waste in PCT absorbs passively. Is that correct? No. Okay. It is absorbed by the process of diffusion down the concentration gradient. Now, is the answer? As we know, the answer is both A and R are false. Nitrogenous waste in PCT is absorbed actively, not passively. Okay. But here they tell us passively. Let's go with passive. Both A and R are false for this question. Next, glomerulus is formed by branching off. Okay. See, that is renal arteriole. Assertion, starting of the ventricular diastole leads to the closure of semilunar veil. Reason, ventricular diastole leads to the fall in ventricular pressure. Okay. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A and why. Ventricular diastole means ventricular contraction, relaxation, and that leads to the closure of semilunar veil, very much true, with the sound dub. And then ventricular diastole leads to fall in the pressure of ventricular pressure. That's true. When anything is in relaxation, the pressure falls. Next, the figure shows diagram. We should label the figure. Okay. So C is the alveoli, thin walled ascleromegaly structures for exchange of gases. Well, with that, we are done with the zoology MCQs. It's late, but like I told who all stayed from starting, I have something to announce. Any ideas what? It's something cool. Well, it is. Have you people checked the poll which I posted? Like, if you were taking a break, then maybe yeah. Then if you're not yet checked, check that also. I want to know what you people actually like in the live sessions. Like, do you like the ones which I interact a lot, or the ones which are even still? Answer me in the poll. I'll work according to the poll. Which gets the more votes, that gets favors. Okay. And our channel finally crossed 1 lakh views. Like the general views, not about views. It's 1 lakh now. Like, yeah, 1 lakh views. Like you can see. Thank you so much for all your continuous support, and I really appreciate everyone who came with me and studied. In fact, most of the time when I dozed off, I dozed off during the sessions. You used to tell me also. And I really appreciate whoever studied when I dozed off also. I'll make sure in next study sessions I won't. So I'll be keeping more interactive only. So if you're fine with that, let me know. And I have replied to all your comments. Thank you for making that more interactive also with the comments and all. And dropper ho sister, no bhai, starter hu main. I just started with NEET preparation. Don't worry, I'm still in class 11 because yep, you people might be more, you will be more older than me. So always feel free to guide me, feel free to correct me wherever I'm wrong because I'm a junior and I'm a beginner. Okay, then whatever I do is still small. But thank you so much for the continuous support. If you like all the studies live sessions and everything, please consider liking my channel and subscribe. There are all of you just view, then why will you get the notification if you don't subscribe to my channel? Please just subscribe so you can stay in touch with me throughout the session and throughout my study lives whenever I post or whatever I post. And yep, I actually won't be seeing much comments. Like if you post normally in live, during the live session I won't see. That's why you should stay till the end of the live. Whenever you post, I don't say this normally all the time, but I say in the starting of the live. If you have any doubts or queries, you should stay till last. In last only I check all the comments. So like I saw them. I guess there's no more comments then. Then with that being said, let's wind up for this session. Hope you all had a productive one. Again, thank you so much for 1 lakh plus views, and we have 265 subscribers. Thank you so much. And yep, see you soon. Till then, happy studying. Bye bye. Good night.